Hi everyone. You might be wondering where are the drawings, where are the poster, where are the paintings that were on my back. Well, here's the thing. I'm almost nearly complete to my moving to my new apartment, as you can see. Yep. I am a little bit 75% done on my new location. So this is a little bit the reason why I was technically a little bit too busy on doing my my other stuff. Like for example, going to see another movie last week, or continuing on with my with my Japan videos, which it's still on a work in progress, just in case. But well, these walls may be empty, but at least it's not as empty soul like some veteran with PTSD. Speaking of which, yep. I gave myself a little bit of time to watch the latest Sylvester Stallone film, Rambo Last Blood. Because it makes allusion to the first movie of Rambo, Rambo First Blood. I gotta be honest, guys. I grew up with Rambo, but not in the way in which you can imagine. Because can you believe that the way I grew up with Rambo, and I know about Rambo, is because of the freaking cartoon. Yeah, some people who didn't know, you might raise your eyebrows saying that, wait, there was a Rambo cartoon? Oh yes, there was a Rambo cartoon. And I'm not ashamed to say that when I was a kid, I watched it. I didn't know better, knowing that it came out from a franchise that is known to be very, very bloody, I gotta admit. I do remember that when I was a kid, I did watch bits and pieces of Rambo 3. But I hardly remember it. But the only one that I remember watching it completely was Rambo 4. Or, well, just Rambo. Or John Rambo, whatever you want to call it. And I admit that I did like it. I only watched it once. It was enough. I do applaud Sylvester Stallone for his commitment to movie making and as an action movie star, even despite his age. So I'm gonna applaud him for that. And right now, Rambo Last Blood came a little bit out of nowhere. I gotta admit that I never even knew that there was gonna be a new Rambo, at least up until this month. But you know what? I decided to watch it. After I finished building up a new desk on my new home. I just came back here, but before that I decided to watch Rambo because, well, I just needed a little bit of a break. I mean, I wasn't interested enough to watch Hustlers or that another movie from last week, so there, Last Blood. I am here. I am doing what I like, and now I have to tell you that Rambo Last Blood, I think I like it. I like it at least as an enjoyment of a film, but I'm not gonna say that it's perfect. It is solid enough to become a little bit of a B-movie popcorn flick, because you're gonna see a plot like that in a lot of these kind of movies. The veteran of war, you piss him off because the wrong crowd, they mess up with the wrong guy, and then it's war. In this case, Sylvester Stallone, it's John Rambo, goes to war again. So who's gonna be the target this time? He battled the corrupt cops. He battled Vietnamese. he battled whatever kingdom that he was trying to. I think it was Malaysia, the one from Rambo 4. So who is on his list now? I'll tell you who's on his list this time. The Mexican cartel. See, amigo? It's the Mexican cartel, the one that John Rambo targeted this time. And I gotta admit that I think I enjoyed this movie even better than El Chicano. No offense, I like this movie a little bit better because I think I enjoy it a little bit more. But it also helps that it does go into a little bit of familiar territory or familiar franchise in this case, like Rambo. So I'll start out by saying that I did like it only as an entertainment value, but it has some hiccups here and there. And for starters, what the plot is about? Well, I think this movie is 10 years after the last Rambo movie, Rambo 4. If I remember correctly, in the last Rambo movie, after he finishes his last mission in Asia, he finally returns home to his west. I think it's a western area or something like that, and he's sleeping happily with, well, I think it was a friend of her, I don't know, and his niece, who is gonna start out college. He's living peacefully as a cowboy. Everything's fine and dandy, but then before her niece goes to college, she wants to know about the whereabouts of her father, and she gets a tip that they found her father in Mexico. But despite the pleas of I think it was his aunt and John, to say that she must not go there because he's not worth it. He's a piece of garbage because he abandoned her when her mother died in the hospital and all this stuff. But she is very insistent, and she goes to Mexico. She goes to Mexico, where she does indeed find out that her father is a piece of garbage that didn't wanted her, but unfortunately she got sold out by her supposed friend to the Mexican cartel. Who there are this group of people who they kidnap girls and they use them for prostitution. You know, the typical that they use in the Mexican cartel. And since she's missing, now it's up to John Rambo to set up into another war from him and to find out and rescue his niece. That's basically the story, and it's pretty much a basic story, which, again, personally, I have absolutely no problem as long as it is executed well. Is fine by me. This one, well, I'm not gonna say that it's horribly executed. It's just kind of saying like it goes a little bit into familiar territory when you go into a basic script in these kind of movies. Because there's some things that you're gonna notice. For example, you got a lot of stereotypes of Mexico. We got of course the typical action hero who he's himself like he shows that he's probably a god, just like in the famous quote, he's a man, not a god. Well, he is probably the next god of war, apparently. And that's pretty much I have to say. The pacing on the cinematography is okay. It started out a little bit slow, but I think that if you grew up with Rambo, you know the character, I think you might go along fine. It is during the climax that things go uphill. Uphill in the terms of thrilling, emotions, and of course, blood. Blood and gore. Yeah, there is blood and gore. The only disappointing thing about this movie is that there is not... If you're expecting, like, for example, lots of shooting, lots of body main, like in the last Rambo, unfortunately, you're not gonna get too much of that. It's a little bit tamer compared to the other films. But still, that's not saying much because even a drop of blood is enough to make you cringe because when the violence delivers, it delivers. Let me tell you, it really does deliver. I'm not gonna reveal exactly what happened at the end, but the ending, I will say that the only clue I'll give you is that it will make Kano very proud. Acting and characterizations. First of all, let's go, of course, with the obvious, which how did Sylvester Stallone portray John Rambo? He did fine. I gotta admit that if it's about acting, there is no contest that Sylvester Stallone is indeed a great actor. He's probably I really admire Sylvester Stallone's dedication to filmmaking, despite also his age, and most of all being, of course, on being an action movie star. But I'm not disparaging because some veterans, there are still veterans that are action movie stars, and they still do kind of like a solid job. I mean, look at Schwarzenegger, and also look at Jackie Chan, my favorite actor. They're veterans, but still, even in their best or in their worst of movie careers, they always try to pop out a kind of like a smile on my face. Yes, I said that. This is probably the only reason that unlike many people, I even could tolerate Terminator Genesis. Yeah, I said that. I can tolerate it, but I'm not gonna go into that discussion. And well, for the characterization of John Rambo, I feel like this movie is basically the Toy Story 4 of John Rambo. Because the thing is that when you give out a kind of like a franchise or a character some kind of closure or that feels perfect, then where do you go there? Because when you want to expand there, then it feels like some kind of fan fiction that you want to show a character that it's still a death machine even at their age. But at that point, I'm thinking that I prefer a fan fiction when he was kind of like a cartoon. But okay, but things aside, I did like the kind of like the characterization of John Rambo. He has PTSD. He's on meds, and despite that he lives in a ranch tending to horses and everything. He has a loving niece, and you can see that he also finds a little bit of solace, weirdly enough, on on his man-made tunnel underground. And this is where he does his weaponry blacksmithing. I don't know, maybe that's kind of his crazy mind. But honestly, yeah, it may be cheesy if you think about it, but I find it cool. It is cool to have this man-made tunnel and show this kind of weird passion about it. As much passion that even probably Sylvester Stallone does in his role. As for the other characters, well, the other actors do a nice job, a solid enough job. The niece character, she does fine. I actually kind of like the characterization on her because although it kind of feels a little bit similar to what was it, the peacemaking group that from the last movie, in which it kind of feels like deja vu, in which we got kind of like the girl saying that they believe in the good of humanity, that people can change, they are all can be nice, but John Rambo is like, no, I've seen enough. You don't know the evils of humanity. And the weird thing is that almost by the end of the movie, it kind of shows that Rambo was right. that the world is a nasty place. It's a war out there, no matter if you're in peace times, and that sometimes there is no good in humanity. And but I gotta say that the girl in this case, Rambo's niece in this case, let me tell you, she got it worse. She has got it worse. I'm not gonna say exactly what it is, but looking at what she goes through, it will probably let you see that yeah, there's some dark side in humanity, and in this case, it kind of doesn't help that it's portrayed on Mexico in the Mexico cartel. Oh boy. I've been hearing stories about Mexico, and as long as Mexico is given bad reputations, no wonder movies are gonna portray them like that. Because this is exactly shown on the villains, of course. I mean, yeah, they're one-note villains. They are gonna show them as scummy as possible, as inhuman as possible. That you might find that there's no way people could act like that. But you know what? We're talking about an action movie, so all bets are off. And yeah, you want these people dead, and it shows. There's horrible people in this world, and of course in this day and age, probably the best target is the Mexican cartel. They don't go exactly over the top like they did in El Chicano. But still, man, those Mexican cartel guys, they're gonna regret for fucking up Rambo. There is a little bit of a weak side also in this movie. The movie also tries to introduce this woman who is this freelance journalist who is investigating the Mexican cartel. She doesn't do exactly much, which that kind of contributes a little bit of the weakness on this film, because this character pretty much felt like this, you know, the usual information gatherers of many of those of video games, I'll say. She's just there to help because she helps out Rambo to giving him information and addresses of the delinquents that she finds. Despite that, she does have a little bit of a backstory in which she chased them down in order to expose them and have revenge because they killed off her sister. And she doesn't do much. She doesn't do much. Just kind of becoming like an exposition character, and nothing to complain much. It's just that. Also, I think that in the beginning, I was actually expecting that some people who are not necessarily on the cartel, I felt that they should have been punished even more. I mean, I will say that if Rambo would have gone on to full on his revenge, almost at the end of the movie, he would have gone into the house of the shitty father and the shitty friend and killed them off. I hope there's a deleted scene in which Rambo gets revenge on these two shitty people. But that's just me. That's just me. But I will say that if you think that the pacing is a little bit slow, well, it is. It is. But it does pay off with great action, kind of like Vietnam action almost during the climax. Although it does feel a little bit Home Alone-ish in this case, but not in the sense that is slapsticky or funny. No, 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 no. Because let me tell you, when you're a when you're a war veteran who is a master of traps and weaponry, boy, that you're gonna get ready for a lot of head chopping, legs chopping, impalement, shootings, and everything. So get ready for that. And if you're a little bit of a buff of action, you'll be like the audience. I do remember being some guys in the audience go like, "Damn, yeah, oh bravo!" If you're, I swear, if you're just having fun, you're gonna cheer up during those moments. So, so basically, it's just stupid fun. It's just stupid fun. But as for me, well, I enjoy it. I absolutely enjoyed this film. I don't have too much angry regard to this film. I just feel that it does what it does. Just a pure action flick, even though it feels unnecessary because, well, John Rambo arc technically ended in the last movie, so there's not much to go there. Even it shows during the credits because the end credits it shows it shows clips of all the Rambo films. Yes, that's what they do during the credits. It shows scenes from Rambo 1, Rambo 2, Rambo 3, even Rambo 4, and it ends up, of course, with a few more scenes from Rambo 5. That's all I have. That's all I have to say about Rambo Last Blood. Is this gonna be the real Last Blood of Rambo? Well, maybe it is, considering Sylvester Stallone aged. Unless they pull us off a final chapter from Friday the 13th. But no, I don't think that it's gonna happen like that. Unless they revive Rambo on a cartoon. No, 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 no. Please don't do that unless you want to go in the extreme. So well, that's all I have to say for this movie. Maybe in my next review, I'll do it on my new location. Man, that is gonna bring me out some memories from being here. It's been quite a month, guys. It's been quite a month. I do feel a little bit as tired as Sylvester Stallone and as Rambo. But you know, maybe if John Rambo is tired of shooting people, maybe I know who's gonna be the next Rambo. Weird Al Yankovic.